guys, and welcome to Rebel TV. Tonight, I want to talk about a quote from my favorite writer. His name is Jeff Michael Harf, and it's actually my favorite quote. Many of you know the quote that says "Ordo ab chaos," which means order out of chaos, and the Freemasons version of it is, of course, problem, reaction, solution. And Jeff Michael Harf has his own version of the exact same rumble that we have been going through for the last, well, a couple of 100 years at least. The quote goes like this: hard times create strong men. Strong men create good times. Good times create weak men. And weak men create hard times. So you can see how the circle is fulfilled. That is the quote I go by. That's my kind of problem, reaction, solution. And that's how I see the world. For those who have been following me for a while know that I'm all about people. I'm all about feeling and looking at people, and this is how I see that circle complete, by watching people, and that's what this quote defines. So, yeah, in order to go into the depth of this quote, I want to discuss two subjects. One of them is fear, and the other one is bravery, courage. Because I think this quote is based on those two subjects. So I'll start by explaining what I feel about that. Fear, yeah, well, we've seen that for a while now, and they've been using it to control us for as long as we can remember and as long as we can see back in our own history. Fear is their main tool. The main commodity in the world is not money or power, it's fear. If you can scare people, you can control them. If you can make people be fearful enough, they will enter a mode of panic. And in that panic, they will take any remedy that the powers above us will hand them. So who controls the fear porn controls the world. It's as simple as that. So what is fear? Well, fear is an emotion. It's a chemical reaction in your body. It's a lot of things, but it all depends on the control of fear. Because let's say the narrative of fear for a long time has been misjudged. You know, we are treating fear as an enemy. We don't want to be fearful. We don't want to admit we are afraid. But actually, it's a normal, basic, and very important emotion that you have. It's an alert system. So by alienizing fear, they actually make us more subdued to their, well, quote unquote, magic. Because fear is nothing you should be ashamed of. Fear is nothing you should shy away from. Fear is your friend. You know, but it can also hurt you. So fear needs to be controlled. The way I talk about fear, the way I feel about fear is that it's just like fire. If you can control it, it'll do all the good things you need. It'll cook for you. It will keep you warm at night. You know, it will give you light. So as long as you control it, you will harvest all the good benefits from it. Just like fear. If you can control your fear, you will be able to have an alert system that can warn you for all these instances you will have in life. But if you ignore fear and you shy away from fear, you will lose one of your most important values, emotions in everyday life. So go ahead, be afraid, but learn how to control that fear. On the other hand, just like fire, if it gets out of hand, it'll burn you. It even burn the house down. You know, so you have to watch fear just like a fire all the time. You know, you have to be in control. If the fear or fire controls you, well, you know what's going to happen. So that's my definition of fear. The other thing is courage. I think courage have been misrepresented as well for a long time. We see courage as people jumping into situations where they maybe shouldn't, you know. But courage is much more than that. It's not about being heroic, you know. Actually, courage goes hand in hand with fear. Without fear, courage won't be there. You need to be afraid. In my opinion, you need to be afraid to be courageous, to be brave. And that's the whole point. Because if you're not afraid, you know, that means you're in a situation where you control all the variables and then make a conscious decision that you believe you will overcome, you know? And when you do that, it's not courage, you know? That's good planning. That is your wisdom and your intellect and all the skills you have that benefits you. If you're not afraid, then you're not courageous. Then you're just well prepared. Courage comes in hard times when you are afraid, when you are in a panic mode, and you need to do something that's important for your way of life. You know, courage is not it's not something you do to impress people. Courage is something you do because you have to. You know, it's not shameful to be afraid. But what you do in that state of distress, panic, and fear, that's what determines courage. And yeah, that's how I feel about those two things. I think those two subjects are the main issue in this quote, you know, and I think it's a main concern of what's going on right now and what has been going on for a long time. Because you can see the circle. And I just repeat the quote, you know. Hard times create strong men. Strong men create good times. Good times create weak men. And weak men create hard times. And guess where we are right now? We're pretty goddamn weak right now. And you can see it. If you're following me, you already know it. We're the weakest generation we have ever witnessed. But on the bright side, the quote has repeated itself for a long time. So Weak men create hard times. That's what we're seeing now. But the next time, hard times create strong men. You know? And when we got enough strong men, they will create good times. I know I've been loom and gloom for a long time, and I do think we have a lot of hard times ahead of us, but I also think that we will endure and conquer when everything is put on the point. So, yeah, I love Jeff Michael Harf. Some of his books are better than others. I'll let you judge. He writes a lot about Holocaust and you know what do you call it? The end of the world stuff. And yeah, that's what I got for you tonight. So hopefully I can help you be that strong guy. I know I'm here and I'm gonna fight. And I'm gonna fight until we have enough strong guys to create better times. This is Rebel TV. See you on the flip side. Over and out.